What tenants really want. Do not ignore these things. Tenants want to move into a home, not a house. There are many steps that the landlord must take to make this a reality. Rental providers should think about what tenants really want, as opposed to what landlords think is right. It's not always easy to know what tenants really want, though. For example, in a recent survey it was found that over 40% of respondents preferred to hang up their own photos. We all know, though, that many landlords consider this a no-no, something that has the capacity to damage the rental and incur unnecessary property management costs. There are ways around these demands, though. For instance, in the lease agreement a stipulation could be added stating that hanging up photos is permitted, but that any damage to the wall incurs a deduction from the rental deposit. Make a tenant-first property. Internet access and a working television system is frequently ranked as the highest priority factor for an incoming tenant. Over 55% of respondents deem this the most important initial move-in aspect. TV and internet play an invaluably central role for most young people. If you have had previous tenant complaints about your internet service provider, think about switching to a more trustworthy alternative. One of the least important factors for tenants is decor. In contrast, cleanliness is high on the list. Take note and don't overdo it on decor, where you could instead invest in new, updated, cleaner appliances and investing in a professional cleaner to perform the A to Z of what needs to be done. Remember, always try to consider what tenants really want and not necessarily on what you would want. Always be proactive. Always think to ask tenants if they feel there is anything missing. There's no point missing out on a long-term, quality tenant if you can meet their demands there and then. This demonstrates to the tenant that you can be relied upon to deal with issues, whether related to rent or maintenance, as and when they arise. Similarly, if you already have a quality tenant, think about asking them if there is anything you could do to keep them on board. Consider offering a lower rental increase in tandem with these changes for maximum effect. Think about security, too. Whether they admit it or not, incoming tenants want security reassurances. Always be proactive, install security extras where necessary, and be sure to point out to tenants these fortified additions. Final thoughts. If you're not sure what tenants really want, always put yourself in their shoes. Think about your target market. Who are you aiming to target? What expectations are they likely to have? By making the changes discussed here, you enhance the possibility of finding a long-term, quality tenant that stays. That's what's important.